Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round number 5 of Wicked Wednesday Season 2 here in Fortune Racing. I am It's Chocolate and I will be commentating for you today. It's going to be a very wet race, lots of rain incoming. First part of qualifying is going to be dry, so we're going to be seeing a lot of drivers out on track once the session gets underway. I believe they're just choosing their tyre allocations right now. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one with the rain. People are probably going to be going for wet setups here in qualifying. Here we go. So we've got 18 minutes now ahead of us, although it is going to start raining about halfway through. So people are going to need to get some laps in here. It may be a case of the first person to set a lap here could go faster if it rains really quickly. We saw in the Division 2 race at Spa, it started raining at the end of people's flying laps, and after that it was impossible to improve. So now we see the Mercedes of Prezi going out of track. Also, there's two other cars, the Alpine of Ellis and an Alfa Romeo, also a Williams. Yeah, so lots of people heading out onto track early on in this session, making sure they can get that lap in with the rain incoming. Lots of opportunities for people to do well here. Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one. Let's head on board with Make, currently the first person on the track. So yeah, just taking their time right now to get these tyres up to temperature. Depending on when the rain comes, this may be their only flying lap, so they've really got to nail this first one. If they invalidate and don't have enough time to get round, they're going to be starting at the back. Also, still a lot of drivers waiting in the pit lane, maybe expecting only one flying lap, and just want today a little bit more. We can now see Failing Squash and the AlphaTauri of William Talbot heading out of the pit lane now, as Make is coming round the final corner now to start the flying lap. DRS open, and down the main straight we go on the run towards turn number 1. Let me just get a track map up. Here we go. Cool. No, that's really bad quality and it's the old layout. Where's the new layout? None of them are the new layout. That's really annoying. There we go. No, that's too small. I should have done this beforehand. This one would do, I think. Alright, so yeah, just coming through Campsa now, turn number 9. Very high aero demand through that corner. It's really good for comparing the aero between seasons. But yeah, coming into Sector 3 now, making me the first person across the line to complete a lap. Pistol has just left the pit lane as well. Chris and DTYT still in the pit lane right now, hanging out quite late, but make it across the line now to set a 112.8. Who else? We got Iron Gamer sets a 113.2. Alice PH sets a 113.1. Just goes ahead into P2. Prezi comes across the line now and goes fastest with a 112.7. And then JTK goes even faster with a 112.1. And then we've got a bit of a wait now for Failing Squash and William Talbot coming through Sector 2 now, through turn 7s and 8. Tricky corner to get right. Yeah, Spain a very high aero demand track. You need to be running very aggressive wings here if you want to get it right. But also very easy to spin. And we can see rain falling now. This is not good for the likes of DTYT, Chris and Pistol, who are just starting their laps now, or not even, with DTYT still in the pit lane currently. I mean, they're going to really struggle now. The rain is starting to fall. Failing Squash coming to the line now and sets a 1:13.5. William Talbot coming around the final corner, and he's invalidated. This is horrible for him as well. The rain is falling, and there's 4 drivers who haven't set laps yet. Pistol is now on his flying lap, and he's going to be getting his chance now. And I believe Chris is coming around the final corner to start his lap now. No, he's not. He's just gone through the start of Sector 3. So, yeah, it's going to be touch and go whether these guys are able to keep the tyre temperature, keep the grip to make it. It's going to be going to full wet conditions here, so it's going to be raining hard. The track already looks like it's almost ready for intermediates, to be honest. And there's yellow flags behind. That is a car going slowly on an out lap. Yeah, I mean, look how wet the track is. There's no way this is going to work. They're going to have to box for intermediates at this point, I think. This is too wet. And that is William Talbot, I believe, spun around at turn 8. He's lost his front wing there. He's gone into the barrier on the right-hand side, covering the car. I believe he's doing a recharge lap. And he's going to have to box for intermediate tyres. Chris comes across the line with a 16.999. So basically a 17. 5 seconds off of pole. It is intermediate conditions now. You might be able to hang it out on on the soft, but no, never mind. Look at the track now. DRS disabled. It is too wet now. Will's going to be coming into the box now, struggling to make it around the final corner. Is he going to go in the barrier? Not quite. He just manages to hang on there. And into the pit lane now. Make sure he doesn't drift wide. Who else do we have? We've got Pistol recovering. We've got 2 cars on laps currently. Chris, yeah, Will retires from the session. Chris coming through the final corner. That's so much slower than you would take it in dry conditions. And it's a 21 for him. So just 1 car left out on a lap now. DTYT, and he's having a moment on the exit of turn 5 there. This is going to be a really tricky part of the lap, Sector 2. Into turn 7 and 8 now. He's taking it so much slower. This is going to be even slower than Chris, I think. Running wide at Kamsa, and that's probably going to be actually, it won't be invalidated, but that lap's going to be ruined. So it looks like this will be our qualifying order. JTK on pole position from Prezi, then Make, Ellis, Iron Gamer, Failing Squash, Pistol, Chris, DTYT, and then William Talbot rounding out the grid. And there's DTYT having a spin at turn 11 on his way, but I assume he's pitting. Chris is also out on track as well, making his way back round. And Failing Squash going out on the intermediates, which could be a smart play here, actually, given that we're also going to have an intermediate condition race. So this can give him some practice on his setup. See what it feels like for the main race. I mean, yeah, definitely a smart play. I think there's a few other people setting the intermediate tyres, maybe considering going out as well, just to get a little bit of practice in. The entire race will be intermediates, so I mean, as long as they don't burn sets up, so as long as they only use 1, they should be alright. They'll still have 3 sets of intermediates, I think. They don't want to start burning all of them up though to try and get the fastest intermediate lap though. Otherwise, that will not help them in the race. Chris retires in the pit lane, I presume. I'd be a bit worried if he's retired on track there, on the pit straight. Yeah, so we got 2 cars now out on intermediate tyres. Of Failing Squash coming back into the pits. Prezi and Pistol still out. I don't know if they were just doing a reconnaissance lap, just check out what it was like. Failing Squash retiring now from the session. We might see a few more guys go out just to try it out. But yeah. A few people just want to get a little bit of practice in. So, yeah. basically just got to wait it out now while these guys are going. And Make is coming out onto the track on some intermediate tyres as well. So is JTK. Both on intermediates. Yeah, Pistol coming back to the pits now. We'll go to Prezi. Yeah, Prezi's on an outlap right now, but I guess coming to the pits based on what everybody else has done. Pistol retires in the pits. Prezi coming into pit lane now. And yeah, shouldn't be too much longer. Hopefully we won't have to wait the full 8 minutes and people will retire. But JTK and Make out on track now. Maybe getting a little bit of practice racing here. Prezi retires as expected, and DTYT now going out onto track. Just leaving the pits now. Yeah, JTK and Make having a little battle through Sector 2 here. And I hope they don't burn these tyres up too much, because that's not going to help them if they have to use these tyres, obviously. They might not go through all of their intermediates. We don't know. Wheel to wheel through turn 11 though. JTK gets ahead into turn 12. Who's pitting? Neither of them. They're both staying out to do some more laps here. So now down into turn 1. DRS not enabled here in these wet conditions. But Make in the slipstream. Probably not going to gain enough. Make pulls out though. And into turn 1. Has a look down the inside. But JTK gets the better line. Now through turn 2 and the long run through turn 3 down towards turn 4 where Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg crashed in 2016. Make going very wide there. I think the car got a little bit unsettled there round that corner, and this has given the lead in this pseudo race in qualifying to JTK and given him a decent margin. Although I think JTK might be backing up a little bit back into Make. We'll get the telemetry on so we can see what they're doing. But yeah, how exciting! We get some racing in qualifying, and yeah, the gap has opened up significantly since last lap. JTK taking the lead from Make, and yeah, Make dropping even further back, struggling in these wet conditions. Really needing this practice though, because it is gonna be a wet race. Interesting choice to burn the tyres up here though. It's a 50% race, so there's going to be plenty of laps to get used to the car. Burning the tyres up in qualifying may not be the best idea, but who knows. Yeah. What is DTYT up to? Having a little slide there on the exit of 11. Taking lots of curve there. Runs wide. Smashes up the brake marker board. That's not a great idea. Struggling a little bit with those curves. Don't want to be taking too much, otherwise the car will bottom out. And Make has crashed on the exit of turn 11. Not good for Make, but I guess hopefully that will finish the session a little bit faster. Let's go on board with JTK, see what he's up to. How many laps did Mick get there on the Intersten? 1. Oh, and that is the McLaren crashed, I think, on the pit entry. So it's just JTK. JTK is the last man standing here in qualifying. What's he going to do? He's going to stay out again. Oh, well, JTK, please, can we just retire now? You've done a couple laps. You know, let's just get on with the race. And finally, we have reached the end of qualifying after a few laps there on the intermediate tires from JTK. Other two guys who were going for a few laps crashing out there, making DTYT. So our grid then is going to be JTK, Prezi Press, Make, Ellis, Iron Gamer, Failing Squash, PRT Pistol, FTR Chris, DTYT, and William Talbot in P10. Few drivers there. 4 drivers, in fact, almost half the grid, unable to set a lap in dry conditions after the rain started falling. Unfortunate for them. But yeah. There's your grid. JTK on pole position here for the Spanish Grand Prix. And now we've got to wait for them to choose their fuel. I don't think their tyres are going to be much of a question. It's going to be intermediates. But yeah, we're going to have to wait for them to pick their fuel. Alright. hopefully we won't have to wait as long as we did in qualifying. But yeah. Alright, so we'll be getting underway in just a few more seconds. And now the formation lap begins, and let's look to see that everybody is on the intermediate tyres as expected. Take a screenshot of the grid in case it's needed. So JTK leading us away on this formation lap. A few guys at the back taking their time to get going. But we are all the way now in the end. They're just coming into turn 3 now, as JTK going into turn 4. So not too big of a gap. Hopefully we're gonna get some good racing here though, in the wet conditions. Obviously we're not gonna have the aid of DRS, but that does mean it's gonna be a bit trickier to make those easy overtakes into turn 1. Hopefully it will mean we're gonna get some more wheel-to-wheel racing there though, as you won't just be able to breeze past your opponents. It's gonna be an interesting one to watch for sure, and I'm very excited for it. JTK now coming through turn 10, almost back around to the grid now. Hopefully he'll get his tyres up to temperature. He'll be hoping for a very good launch with the fast starting Prezi and Make behind him. Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting start here going into turn 1 in the wet conditions. Maybe seeing some people struggling on the traction off of the grid. We could see a very different order by the time we get to the end of the first sector. 2 big overtaking opportunities in sector 1, into turn 1 and into turn 4. So opportunity for a big shake-up come the start here. Will gets disqualified. I'm not sure what happened to him, but now DT Whitey just joining the back of the grid now. Pistol disqualified. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And we are, off here in Spain. JTK gets a good start. It looks like Make also getting a good start behind. He's getting the jump on Prezi into turn 1, going around the outside. Also, Iron Gamer going, having a look on the Alpine, and they're going 3 wide in the background as well. JTK leading into turn 1, Make in P2. Prezi and Iron Gamer fighting still into turn 2. And then behind, William Talbot up 2 positions into P8. Now Make that 3. He's up into P7. And the Alpine of Ellis falling backwards a little bit at the start. 3 wide through turn 3. The Haas in the background getting it out of shape a little bit. And the McLaren down the inside of the Williams having a look now. And there's contact between the Williams and the AlphaTauri there, as they were just having a little look in front. Will back down to P8 after that. And Phelan Squash and Ellis also fighting through turn 5, through turn 6 now, and into turn 7. Very tricky braking zone. The Alpine just has to settle in behind. JTK and Make 1 and 2 right now at the front, separated by 7/10 right now. But yeah, good start for Will, up a couple places. Good start for Make. He managed to jump Prezi off of the line, and Iron Gamer as well, up a position as well. Ellis down a couple, not great for him. DT Whitey also up 2 positions off the start. Overall, pretty clean start. There was only a very minor bit of contact there at turn 4. Other than that, the grid got away cleanly. Chris very close to the back of Will right now. Pistol very close to the back of Chris as well. These guys probably going to be fighting into turn 1. Phelan Squash maybe also having a look in front on Iron Gamer, but it looks like somebody is deploying battery in front, or maybe just running higher wings. But now into turn 1, Chris gaining on Will a little bit there, not deploying too much battery though. Settling in behind, Pistol dropping back a little on the straight, potentially running higher wings. Now through turn 3, Chris right on the back of Will, having a look down the inside into turn 3, taking an alternative line, and he's ahead by the time they get onto the straight and into turn 4. But Williams has overtaken Will here now, and that is going to be another position for him, making up after the poor start. Failing Squash also back onto the back of Iron Gamer after losing a little bit of time down the straight. I think he may be running higher wings as well. Now into turn 7 and 8. This is the part of the track where he's going to be gaining lots of time. Through turn 9, Campser. It's, yeah, very high wings normally, but even higher you're going to need in the wet. 3 tenths now separating them, but I don't know if Iron Gamer is burning or whether it's, yeah, I'm not sure what the wing situation is. Iron Gamer going a little bit wide. That's allowed Failing Squash right onto the back of him now. Only 2 tenths separating them. And we might be seeing a move now into turn 1 here. Will dropping backwards off the start as well. He's dropped off of the back of Chris and DTYT. In fact, they made a move into the penultimate corner there. And now Failing Squash gaining and gaining and gaining on the back of Iron Gamer. Is he going to get close enough for a move into turn 1? He's not using his battery, and no, he's just going to settle in behind. DTYT also gaining on FDR Chris. No move going to be made there after getting overtaken on the previous lap. Will now onto the back of the McLaren after previously just dropping back a little bit. I think going all right now for him though. Failing Squash and Iron Gamer still battling it out though at the front for P4 here, and now down the inside on the exit of turn 4, having a look now on the outside of turn 5, and he gets pushed off the track there by Iron Gamer. He's not going to be very happy with that one. Very aggressive moves from Iron Gamer here in this wet race. Well, if we're going to see battling from these guys the whole race, it's definitely going to be an exciting one. Is that going to boil over at some point? Will and DTYT fighting through turn 7. I think there might have been contact because DTYT has just dropped back a little bit from the rest of them. Pistol right on the back of Will as well. But we'll go back to Failing Squash and Iron Gamer battling it out still. Now through the final 2 corners, right on the back of him again. Are we going to see a move this time into turn 1 here? I mean, we saw it happen into sector 2 there, so maybe we'll get it here now. A little bit of battery deployed for Failing, but not deploying too much here. Just sitting behind, not really looking for a move. Maybe hoping that Iron Gamer is deploying a bit more battery on the straights here to defend, which I believe is the case. Also behind Will and Pistol fighting, and there's contact between Will and Pistol. Pistol didn't have the space on the inside, I don't think. I'm not sure what's going to happen there. There may be an investigation with that. Failing Squash still on the back of Iron Gamer. Again, taking that slightly different line through turn 4 there, and a bit more contact, I believe. Front wing to rear wheel. That line through turn 4 is helping Failing Squash to get a better exit and giving him that run onto turn 5 there, but it's giving him the outside line, so he's not really able to capitalize on it very well. JTK currently in the lead by just over a second, and then it's Make and then Prezi, and then it's these two battling for P4, and then behind that we can also see Chris and Ellis battling for P6 as well. The Alpine currently ahead, and having a little bit of a snap of oversteer there on the exit of turn 10. And that's not going to help him at all. It'll let Chris through. I don't know if Chris might have got a bit of wing damage, though, going into the back of the Alpine there. If so, that is unfortunate. Oh, that didn't look good. That car looked like it was desinking through the ground. Hopefully, that's not going to be an issue through this race. Failing Squash still within a couple tenths of Iron Gamer. No move being made right now. Oh, and that's Iron Gamer going wide there on through turn 1. That's given Failing Squash the run. Through turn 2, he's got ahead now. And now on the run towards turn 4 now. The position has swapped. Failing Squash takes P4 for good here. At least for a few more corners, I think. Compared to last time where he was ahead for a very short period. Leading by 9 tenths. Leading from Iron Gamer by 9 tenths now. That gap closing. Sorry, that gap growing a bit. And it's getting even bigger now. 1 second is the gap. Ellis and Chris, the next battle on track. I think there might be some damage for Will. His pace seems to have just disappeared, really. And, oh, that's Ellis going wide there. He had a snap there on the exit of turn 8. I think his tyres might be starting to die off a little bit. And we have a safety car. What's happened? That's the Mercedes of Prezi off. at Kamsa. He's gone off into the barrier there, and that's unfortunate for him. He's got to be careful not to rejoin into the path. We have a full course safety car though. Are we going to see anybody into the pits to change for some brand new intermediate tyres? JTK is staying out. Make is coming into the pits. He's taking the gamble on some brand new intermediate tyres. 5 laps into this race. Failing is staying out. Iron Gamer into the pits though. Maybe he had some wing damage. Chris is staying out. Ellis staying out. And Prezi will be into the pits. He has no wing. Drive through for Ellis for speeding. Unfortunate for him. Will is also into the pits. DTYT is staying out, and Pistol probably coming in. I believe he might have some wing damage, so he is coming into the pits now. Prezi retires. He had the wing damage. Not too sure why he's retired. He runs a safety car right now. He'll be able to catch up, but he has left the session as well. Unfortunate for him, he was running up there very nicely in P3. But now dropped out after the crash on the exit of Kamsa. So we're now catching the snake. JTK has caught up. Make has only dropped 2 positions actually, so this could be quite a good strategy here for Make. It depends how worn those tires were though. If they were only at 5 or 6%, it's not going to gain him all that much time, and he may struggle to make the overtakes here, especially with the wet conditions. No DRS to help him get past like you would in dry conditions. But yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see, can Make fight through. Will these newer tyres give him the pace to fight with JTK? And Chris coming into the pits there. So it's just going to be Failing Squash, Make's teammate for this race, in front of him. Separating him and JTK. Unfortunately, Ellis has that drive-through penalty, so that's not going to help him. He's going to have to pit again once the safety car is back in. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting dynamic though. Most of the grid, only 3 drivers have stayed out now. 3 of 9 are on old tyres. The other 6 pitted. So it's only Make really who's lost. I mean, the McLaren of DTYT up from last, I believe, to P4, so it's helped him definitely. And yeah, Failing Squash obviously up a couple of places. JTK stayed where he was, but everybody's only really lost 1 position. So it's not really been too bad for the drivers pitting. Obviously, Make and JTK did quite a few laps. I mean, Make only did about 2. But JTK did a lot of laps on the set of intermediates in qualifying, so he's going to be at disadvantage here, down the set of intermediates. It shouldn't hamper him too much, but it'll be something he has to consider with his strategy. The safety car will be in on this lap, so JTK will now set the pace for the restart. But, yeah. So now we are just waiting for JTK to restart this race. And just waiting any second now, and he's gone through the final corner now. Got a very nice jump there on Failing Squash actually. 6/10 gap back. Very close though. Iron Gamer going for a move on DTYT. DTYT on the grass. Not sure what was happening there. But manages to get past. Make and Failing Squash fighting through turn 1. Make gets ahead though with the better grip. Manages to get past. 1 second though separating Make from JTK right now. hasn't helped him on this restart. Failing Squash and Iron Gamer also fighting again. And William Talbot and Pistol fighting now into turn 4. They go. Pistol on the inside. Does he make contact with the Alpine there? It looked like it. Will having to go around the outside, and contacts there with the McLaren. And the McLaren forced off track. He's dropping back very quickly on those old tyres. Will gets caught up with the McLaren. The McLaren's off track again. And Will's dropped back to last place now. The McLaren losing 4 positions on this restart already. Not been a very good one for him. The pass of Pistol all over the back. Oh, that's Iron Gamer. I think he may have made a mistake there. He dropped back a couple places there, and that hasn't helped him. He was doing quite well on the restart initially, but I think there maybe was some contact. Will gets past DTYT into turn 10, sorry. And that has helped him. They're still fighting though. Will up the inside through turn 11, and that's should clear him past now. And that's the McLaren spun. He's gone into the wall. He might have some front wing damage from that, but he is still going. And that's also Ellis into the pits. He might have some wing damage as well. Oh no, he's subbing his drive-through. That's what that was. JTK still leading, but Make going for the move, actually. They're fighting through turn 2 now. Make round the outside of turn 2, down the inside through turn 3, and he's got ahead with those superior tyres. The superior grip are really helping him here on this restart. He's been able to fire his tyres up much better than the rest, and that has got him ahead. Chris fighting with Iron Gamer as well. The two Williams going at it now as we start through Sector 2, very close together. Make is pulling away from JTK at a rate of knots right now. This is really good stuff from him on those new tyres. Really opportunistic, able to make that strategy work, and it's really working out for him. He's pulled a second over a second on this lap already. But yeah, Chris close to the back of Iron Gamer. I'm not sure exactly what happened on his restart. But yeah. Maybe we'll find out what happened with it. Not too sure. Chris still right on the back and makes us the fastest lap of the race. He's pulled 2 seconds on JTK on this first lap. The lead has changed for the first time in this race. Make now leading a lap. And yeah, doing well with it as well. Pulling a nice gap on JTK. I don't know if he was burning battery. He burnt a little bit more than JTK did. But not masses. He still has some to play with, definitely. Few guys battling now though. Iron Gamer and Chris still going at it. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Iron Gamer, whether he got a little bit of damage or something. Not too sure. But yeah, he lost a decent chunk of time there on that restart. And it really hasn't helped him, to be honest. Pistol right on the back of Failing Squash as well. Onto the back straight now. Had a little look to the inside, but not really making a move from that far back, especially in these intermediate conditions. But now into turn 11, DTYT gets another 3-second time penalty for track limits. We have a nice battle here for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Right now, Failing Squash able to stick it out in P3 just about. So, this is a fight for 3rd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. But with those newer tyres, Pistol gaining on the straight, having a look at the inside, not going to go for a move there though. Yeah, they've got to start using these tyres quickly, otherwise the advantage is going to drop off a little bit. But for sure, they're going to be faster all through this stint. Having another look into turn 4, but not able to make a move there. It's probably a bit frustrating for him. He knows he has the pace, but just can't find a place to make a move here. Failing Squash defending just enough to make it work, and in fact, Pistol doesn't get a great exit there. Iron Gamer now right onto the back of him into turn 7 now. Having a little look, I think, to the inside, but you're not really making a move there. Iron Gamer looked like he went a little bit wide as well. That's now let Chris get onto the back of him. I think this battle's going to go on for a little bit. And yeah, no moves being made. the lack of DRS definitely not helping with this, obviously, but who doesn't love a little bit of rain to spice it up? Get some on-track overtakes, you know, instead of just DRS pass every lap. Why not let them race? But yeah. So now through the final corner, is anybody close enough with some ERS to go for an overtake? Pistol going very aggressively to the inside there. Iron Gamer follows him in the slipstream. This is going to give him a nice run into turn 1. He pulls to the outside, and he's going to be going for an overtake on Pistol into turn 1. He gets ahead before the braking zone, and now Iron Gamer up into P4. He also has the newer tyres, so this could give him a chance on Failing Squash. Pistol having a look round the outside though. Is he going to do what Verstappen did in Brazil 2016? Get the better grip on the outside. He looked like he was going to do it for a second. But no, he had to settle in behind. I think he got onto the curb on the outside. In fact, it looks like the other Williams of Chris almost having a look there on the Haas. No move coming of it though. And yeah, Iron Gamer now set after Failing Squash for that podium position. But yeah, hopefully we're going to see more racing like that, you know. We want to see some overtakes, guys. Make now leading the race by 5 seconds. This has really worked out for Make. The last thing Make's going to want now is a safety car. But, I mean, it's wet, anything can happen. Williams having a look on the inside there of the Haas. Again, no move being made. It's very close though between these guys. All four of them only separated by about a second. And then these three guys here, the two Williams and the Haas, they're only separated by about half a second. So yeah, it's very close here. Onto the main straight now though. Are we going to see some moves again? Pistol in the slipstream with Iron Gamer. Iron Gamer getting that double slip, so Chris getting that double slipstream off of the pair of them. In fact, that's Iron Gamer going for a move into turn 1 on Failing Squash. They're wheel to wheel. Iron Gamer leaving no room, and there's contact between the two drivers there. There's also a McLaren round at turn 11, but the contact between these two drivers has given Pistol the run, and they're going 4 wide through turn 3, and there's contact. The Williams is off. Iron Gamer has been taken out. The contact at turn 3, they were 4 wide. That was never going to work, guys. Oh no, and that has taken Iron Gamer out. He's off in the gravel at turn 3. Oh no. What a disaster. And now he gets overtaken by Ellis as well, who had that drive through after the safety car. That is a disaster for Iron Gamer. Making the move into turn 2. A little bit of contact with the Sauber. And then it just all fell apart. All of them banging wheels. They ended up 4 wide. And it just didn't work out for them. Chris right on the back of Failing Squash now. He managed to get past Pistol in the chaos. Failing Squash managed to maintain P3 as well. That is an absolute disaster for him though. I can't believe that has happened there. That is so unfortunate for him. It was almost going to be a Hamilton-Rosberg moment all over again. Luckily the two teammates didn't collide there, I don't think. But yeah, very unfortunate for Iron Gamer. He is still fighting though with Ellis. I don't think he'll have damage. Chris though going past Failing Squash down the inside into turn 1. Leaves a little bit more space on the inside this time into turn 2, the Williams. A little bit of wheel banging there I think through turn 3, but Chris on the inside gets a run. Failing Squash switching to the inside now for turn 4, but he's not close enough to be making a move there. So just gonna sit behind. Iron Gamer not able to make a move there on Ellis into turn 1, too far back. And I think his tyres might be a little bit cooked after that spin. Make now 6.7 seconds ahead of JTK. He is really stretching his legs out in front now. But yeah. These three guys still going at it as if nothing happened. These guys just want to have a good race, score as many points as possible. Chris up in P3 obviously gonna be where he wants to finish this. I mean, they're all gonna be one of finishing there. But yeah, Chris starting to pull away a little bit from the Alfa Romeo. Maybe they're starting to experience some tyre wear here. And that is what is allowing Chris to pull away. I think the Williams has slightly better tyre wear than the Ferrari-powered cars. They all seem to be struggling a little bit with tyre wear. The Haas, the Alfa Romeo, and the Ferrari. And I think the Williams is quite alright on its tyres, especially the rears, and they'll be very important here, especially in the wet with all the traction zones. Yeah, and Chris now one second clear now of Failing Squash. Failing Squash was second clear of Pistol. And William Talbot up into P6 after what was a disaster of a qualifying. He invalidated as the rain was coming down. He spent most of the race down right at the back, but he has managed to elevate himself up to P6 now. Only about 5 seconds off of this fight for P3 as well. Chris extending now to 1.5 seconds through Sector 2. He's really starting to pull away. And maybe he's even catching up to JTK. I haven't really been watching that gap. That would be interesting though. If we're going to see a resurgence from Chris to try and take the fight to JTK on those older tyres, maybe it is going to give Chris enough of a tyre advantage to go for him here, especially in the second stint. And in fact, Failing Squash now into the pits. He didn't pit at the start there. He's on 14 lap old tyres. McLaren going slowly in sector 2 there through turn 5. Not too sure what happened there for him. He seems to be really struggling, taking a lot of curve there. I think he might have some wing damage. Not been a great race for him. Had a couple of spins, had a couple crashes I think as well. It's not been great for him so far. And wide there again. Yeah, it's not great. So Failing Squash comes out in P8, a little bit behind Iron Gamer. Yeah, but obviously with the newer tyres, he's going to close that gap quite quickly. It's only 4 seconds. And DC Whitey had a look into the pits. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Didn't end up pitting. Pistol gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. That's not going to help him if he wants to try and keep this fight going with Failing Squash. That 3 seconds could prove crucial. But I think we're going to see a few pit stops from the likes of maybe JTK on this lap here, actually. Make stays out. Continuing on those intermediate tyres. 10 laps old right now. JTK into the box, though. He's going to go for an undercut, hopefully on Meg. But also, I guess, on Chris, trying to build a bit more of a gap, because Chris closed by about a second on that lap. So yeah, he was at a real threat of getting overtaken there. But he's going to pit now, come out. I'm not sure where he's going to come out. He might actually come up fighting with Iron Gamer and Ellis, which wouldn't be ideal for him. Yeah, he's going to be coming out very close actually to Ellis here into turn 1. He's not quite managed to get ahead. Ellis fighting it round the outside through turn 1. JTK on the cold tyres. He does have the grip though to get ahead there through turn 2, and he should be able to stay here through turn 3. And yeah, the tyres should be up to temperature quite soon. Don't need as much temperature in an intermediate tyre compared to the slicks, so it's not as hard to warm them up. Failing Squash has left the session. I don't know if I have him added. I don't think I do. Okay. Unfortunate for him. I'm going to keep a watch on chat. But yeah. Right now, a make into the pits now. Maybe worried about the undercut from JTK. I don't think it's that powerful. But this does mean that FTR Chris will take the lead of the race here now in Spain. He's going to be hoping for a safety car on this lap, really. It could give him the chance to gain a position or two here. Maybe even take the lead. I'm not too sure how long a safety car pit stop is. He does have a decent gap of just over 10 seconds, though. But that is going to be falling quick. Mate, crucially, though, comes out 4 seconds ahead of JTK. 4 seconds a lap the undercut is here. And that was with JTK fighting on pit exit as well. So, very strong undercut here off of those intermediate tyres. I mean, I think Failing Squash is going to come out quite comfortably ahead of Crypt here, to be honest. And if Pistol pits this lap, Chris will be very much at risk of an undercut from him. This pit stop is gonna spice the race up a lot. JTK gets past Will through turn 7. Probably not too hard on me. I don't think Will would have been fighting him too hard given he's on 12 lap older tyres. But everything's starting to settle down a little bit now. Nobody coming into the pits of the front two. They're staying out. I think Will might be into the pits though. Yes, he is. DT Whitey gets another 3-second penalty for track limits. That brings him up to a total of 9, I believe. Clearly struggling to keep the car on the track right now. JTK sets the fastest lap of the race. As long as you finish this race, you'll get the point. Obviously, with only 10 drivers starting it. And JTK still pushing another purple sector through sector 1. Making out onto the back of Pistol, who maybe has made a bit of a mistake. He's dropped a little bit further back from Chris, and Make having a look into Kamsa. That's not usually a place you see an overtake, but Make manages to go down the inside there into turn 9, gets ahead of Chris, and DT Whitey retires from the session in the pit lane, so we're not going to get a safety car from that one. Probably not what Chris or Pistol were hoping for, but yeah, pretty much as expected now. So probably not going to see overtakes down the main straight here because of the yellow flag. However, Will right on the back of Iron Gamer after pitting. There's definitely an opportunity for something to happen there. Pistol into the pits now. Ellis and Chris, the only two left yet to pit. We'll see if Iron Gamer and Will can fight it out here. Iron Gamer starting to pull away a little bit though from the AlphaTauri, sorry. And yeah, starting to build that gap up a little bit. Make also not able to extend the gap to JTK right now. He is closing in, slowly but surely. It's still a gap of about 2.5 seconds, but definitely on the charge to make some moves here. JTK still wanting to fight for that win. In the meantime, also Make closing in on Chris, who on those older tyres. Who I think he's just begging, praying, no, never mind, he's into the pits now. He's decided, can't wait any longer, I'm pitting now. Obviously hoping for a safety car really there, but not able to get 2.2 seconds now separating Make and JTK. They are gonna be fighting this one, I think, to the end of this race once JTK is able to catch up. JTK on 1 lap older tyres, but that's not going to make very much of a difference, to be honest. And where is Alice going to come out? He's just pulling into the box now. I think he's going to come up behind Iron Gamer and Will, actually, and he's going to come quite a way back. That'll be because of his drive-through he had to set up earlier. He's done a decent job to make some time back up, though. But now it is very much a 2-horse race out in front. Two-way fight between Make and JTK for the race win. I think JTK will be able to catch him, but it's not just a question of catching. He's got to make the overtake as well. And catching is one thing, overtaking is much, much harder, especially in wet conditions and at a track like Spa Catalunya, which is kind of just a testing track, really. It's designed for racing, but it doesn't produce the greatest. William Talbot gets a 3-second penalty. Failing Swash AI, that is, gets overtaken by Pistol. Pistol now up into P4. 5 seconds off the back of Chris. Also, with that penalty, I think Faden's Wi-Fi might have died because he hasn't said anything about rejoining. So that's unfortunate for him. Now JTK 1.7 off the back of Make right now. He is gonna be looking for a move very soon. 11 laps remaining after this one. Once we get to the end of this one, I think this is very much in the hands of JTK right now. But I mean, one small mistake could end it all. Will gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. That's for a straight penalty, not just for warnings. Not too sure what's happened to him there. Maybe he had to cut across turn 2. JTK now not able to gain as much here. He is slowly gaining, but not at the rate he was on the past few laps. And has a little bit of a snap there on the exit of turn 11, sorry. There, and yeah, costs him a little bit of time. Now the gap 2.1 seconds. That's what I was saying. One small mistake is going to set him back a lap. The bigger the mistake, the longer he's going to have to take to catch that time back up. There is a chance for Make to win this here. But yeah, it's a possibility. We shall see. Obviously, still plenty of time. 11 laps roughly remaining in this race. Plenty of time for anything to happen, really. I mean, we could have a safety car, and that would completely change everything. But yeah, we just gotta wait and see. JTK catching again onto the back of Make. But currently not closing fast enough to be making a move in the next 2 or so laps. I don't think he's gonna take at least 4 laps, I'd say, before he's making a move if he doesn't make any mistakes here. And in these tricky conditions, it is going to be quite a tall order to ask that much of him. Make, I believe, is also now down to no new sets of intermediates. I think Make will actually now have to run a U set if we were to have a safety car. Whereas JTK, I believe, should still have 1 more set of brand new tyres. Due to the running they did in qualifying. Make only did about 2 laps before he crashed out. So maybe not too bad wear on them. But they'll be more worn than a new set. JTK not really gaining though. On the last lap, he's just maintained the gap at about 2 seconds. And that's not what he needs to do right now. I don't know whether he's lost a bit of confidence, whether his tyres are dying off. Will now gets back up into P6 after passing the AI of Faden's Wash. I think that AI is going to get disqualified anyway, so it doesn't even matter if they don't pass him. But yeah, JTK struggling a little bit, I think, to close in now. Pistol gets another 3-second time penalty. That right now is that his 2nd or 3rd? I can't remember. It is his 2nd. So Will has 6 seconds and Pistol has 6 seconds. Right now, Will will be finishing in last place, and Iron Game are very close to getting P4 here. So it's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, we shall see. Yeah, again, JTK not gaining all that much time on Make here. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to catch at this rate, unless he's just saving. Yellow flags, though, in Sector 3. That's William Talbot round at turn 10 and 11. It's not going well for him. He's just had a little spin, and that's going to drop him to last, where he was going to be finishing there already. And he spun there again at the penultimate corner. Where they remove the chicane. I think he might pull into the pits and retire now from the race. I would not be surprised at all if he retires Unless he's changing his wing? No, he retires. Yeah, and again, another lap where JTK isn't really gaining that much. On to the back of the Sauber, obviously making a very slightly faster car. But based on what we were seeing earlier in the set, it looked like he still had the pace to catch and maybe even pass. But right now does not look to be the case for the AlphaTauri driver. Ellis gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Not really going to affect him. He's too far off the back of Pistol right now. And also Iron Gamer. Will's retired car has just been thrown out into turn 3. Because that's obviously a safe place to leave it. Iron Gamer now into the pits for a new set of intermediate tyres. Interesting strategy call, quite a bold one. But with the number of laps, we've got about 10 laps, no, sorry, 8 laps remaining. There's definitely time to catch, and also Ellis just got a 3-second time penalty. So it does throw the ball very much into Iron Gamer's court. I mean, he was set for a P4 finish, I think, given the pace of the Haas in front. Also, JTK now dropping back from Make. He's now at 3 seconds. I don't think he's going to get a chance to catch him here. They're both identical on ERS right now as well. So that's not going to play in as a factor. But yeah, I think the one to watch right now is actually going to be Iron Gamer, who's going to be on an absolute charge, trying to catch up. He's got a 14-second gap to close to Ellis. Obviously, 3 seconds of that are in his penalty. But he's got to close 14 seconds to Ellis, and then a further 8 seconds if he wants to get into the range of PRT Pistol, which is going to be a very tall order here. I mean, he's gaining an alright pace. He's not gaining massively. He's probably just got the tyres up to temperature now. I'm not sure this was the right strategy call though. He was set for P4, I believe, or P5. He is very slowly gaining though on the he's gaining quite quickly on the Alfa Romeo, very slowly on the Alpine. JTK managed to put it now down to 2.4 seconds on this lap. So he's gained about 6/10 on this lap. But yeah, really not making much inroads for Iron Gamer on Ellis. Ellis only pitted 5 laps before Iron Gamer though, so yeah, it's not a massive tyre advantage actually, compared to what I thought it was. But yeah, unfortunate for him, I'm not sure if he'll be able to catch this. I mean, he is catching for sure. It's going to be quite an ask though to catch it that much time. JTK is still on the push to try and take this win here, but just not able to find the time. I don't know if he keeps making mistakes or what's happening. Iron Gamer gets past Failing Scottish AI into turn 10, and now he is set loose after Ellis. He's got to get within 3 seconds currently. Or was it 6? I might have remembered that one actually. Yeah, it's 3 seconds he's got to get within. So, yeah. Definitely going to be on a charge here is the Williams. You've got 9 seconds, 9.5 seconds to catch in 5 or so laps. It's going to be challenging for him. I think he was better off staying out. I don't know what his tyres were looking like though. But yeah. Yeah, JTK still catching a little bit. Only a couple tenths on that lap. I think maybe it's just the dirty air. When he gets into it, just not able to find the grip to go for the overtake. So 5 laps remaining now. JCK has a slide through turn 2. That's going to have cost him some time. And I think that may have just secured make the win right now. Obviously subject to mistake from either driver. But he's going to have to catch a half a second a lap. And he hasn't done that really on very many laps. He's done it probably on 1 lap in the last 10. So yeah, it's not looking good for JTK right now for the race win. However, Iron Gamer closing slowly. I think he's gained about 2 seconds on the last lap. Definitely a possibility. Definitely a possibility for him to catch the Alpine. With those newer tyres, and we saw how well Make was able to pull away from JTK with a 5-lap tyre advantage. It's the same tyre advantage now, just later in the race, lower fuel, different drivers. Make still 2.5 ahead with 4 laps remaining. It's looking less and less likely for JTK. 6/10 needed to catch per lap now. If he wants to make it happen. Yeah, I don't think JTK is gonna catch. Iron Gamer gained another 2 seconds on the last lap. He is gonna be on a charge as we get to the last lap. He's gonna be catching LS right at the end of this lap, I think. Also, we've got to take into account the penalty. I think Iron Gamer will finish ahead in P5 as it stands. But yeah, there is potential here, definitely, for even an on-track overtake. Lap 31 now started by the lead 2, and Chris into the pits. I guess he's got a new set of intermediates saved and he's going to go for the fastest lap here. JCK could pit at the end of the next lap if he should have another set. And I don't think we'll get any more safety cars. So JCK, I mean, I don't think he will, just simply because if Make spins, he wants to be there. Or if Make has a mistake, he wants to be there to get it. And in fact, Chris has come out behind Pistol. That's not what he needed. I mean, Pistol has the penalties, but he doesn't want to get caught up in an incident. And he's going to be going for fastest lap. So, yeah. Not what he was looking for right now. And only now has JTK started to close, but it's a day late and $1 short, mate. There's only 2 laps left, and you're 2 seconds behind. You've got to gain a lot of time here if you want to go for it. Chris closing onto the back of Pistol through camps are now just over a second separating them. There's a chance with the extra gap we might even see him move into turn 1 from Chris here. As he will be preparing for a fastest lap attempt. And yeah, 8/10, 7/10, 6/10. 6/10 is going to settle after that for a bit. Make that 5/10, 4/10, 3/10. He is gaining. Overtake on. Maybe he's even going to go for his fastest lap attempt here. Gaining, so it looks at left, goes to the right, other way around, looks right, goes left, like Vettel did on Valtteri Bottas, just the other way around, and makes the move into turn 1. I'm not sure if this will be his attempt at the fastest lap, but He's definitely going for it. Iron Gamer also closing very much onto the back of Ellis as well. He's 3.3 off. He's almost into that range. Purple first sector for Chris. He is on a flyer. Middle sector will be where there's a lot of time to find though. Lots of downforce required. Lots, and the newer tyres will benefit him a lot here. Lower fuel as well. But let's see. Through Kempson now. And onto the back straight. He's already pulled 2 seconds on pistol on this lap alone. JTK 1.8 off of Make now as they start the final lap. Chris burning his battery up though. Coming through turn 11 and 12 now. Only one corner left to navigate, and I think he's going to take the fastest lap here. I don't think he set a purple middle sector actually. But through the final corner now, and he sets a 122.2. He does take the fastest lap, and that's by a couple tenths there. But now, who is still going at it? JCK 1.6 off the back of Maker. I don't think he's going to have the time to catch though, unless Maker makes a mistake, which I think is going to be very unlikely. Iron Gamer also closing in on LS. 2.2 now the gap. But I think, yeah, it's a bit late. Make already celebrating on the back straight. Let's hope he's not celebrating too early though. Round turn. Oh, he's gone wide. What's happening? Are they both celebrating? I don't know what's happening here. He went a bit wide there through turn 10. But coming through turn 12 now. Rounding the final corner. It's going to be the Alfa Romeo of Make who wins here at the very wet Spanish Grand Prix, closely followed by JTK in the Alfa Tauri. Takes P2, 1.2 seconds separating them. And then it's an absolute age all the way back to Chris, who went for the fastest lap attempt. He managed to get it there on lap 32. I don't think he's still pushing. He doesn't have much ERS left. He's coming round the final corners now. And he is going to take P3 here, rounding out the podium, and sets an even faster lap, only by a small margin though. And now coming across the line, PRT Pistol takes P4. Alice and Iron Gamer very close together. Iron Gamer not quite able to make the move in the end, but he does catch right up, and with that penalty, Iron Gamer will take P5, and Ellis will take P6. Failing Squash, his AI is about a lap down, I think, and he'll of course he'll be classified P7, but I think he'll be disqualified. But yeah, Make taking P1, JTK P2, and Chris in P3. If you give me a few seconds, I can... We might be able to get some interviews in quickly. I'm not sure if... But yeah, not too sure if we will be getting any. We will wait and see. Yeah, not too sure about that one. Alright, well, I think based on yeah, I'm going to assume no interviews, so we will be ending stream there. Thank you everybody very much for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow for the notifications when we go live. And yeah, lots more racing to come. We got the Division 1 race on Thursday and the Division 2 race on Saturday in Hungary. So yeah, lots of exciting racing to come this week. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching.